Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today I'm having decaf again. Cinnamon Blueberry Crumble. It's by, I forget, Smart Sips. There we go. It's by Smart Sips. It's pretty good. It doesn't taste too much like blueberry, but as a coffee goes, it's fine. Well, today's high is only going to be 46, and it's, again, damp and gloomy. I think we're going to be expecting some rain today, but it did rain quite a bit yesterday. But hopefully all those showers will bring May flowers. That would be lovely. And I'm getting really anxious to get spring here and get going on my garden because it's a mess. The winter always makes it into a mess. There are a lot of dried flowers out there, a lot of dried veggies, things that weren't quite done at the end of the season that the snow killed. So I have to pull all those out. The soil needs to be amended, and some things need to be moved around, and I need to get rid of a bunch of pots since I'm downsizing my garden. Not a whole lot. I'm still going to plant certain vegetables like tomatoes and peppers and kale and perpetual spinach, which is a chard. I'll plant some celery. So I'm still going to be planting a lot of greens, mainly herbs. But I am going to downsize some of my pots. I'm not going to have as many because they're just strewn all over the place by the end of the winter. The dogs knock them over, and it's a mess back there, but it happens every spring. And then once it's cleaned up, it looks great. At least I think it looks great. Well, my coffee cup is pretty full this morning. And that's actually one of my Valentine's cups, but my dogs woof me all the time. So it's appropriate to use it throughout the year. Whoa, I'm going to have to sip this. I know that's not enough creamer. So, yeah, it's not good for working outside today, though. It's just too chilly. To everything, there is a season. And this is not the season for gardening quite yet. Oh, I better have a sip of this before I cheers you. And of course, it's very hot. So cheers. So I do plan on staying home today. I don't want to go to any more stores till I have to. I just couldn't do shopping yesterday. It was just, I was shopped out. I didn't buy anything. My mom was so cute. When we were at Aldi, she wanted to buy me a bouquet of flowers. That was so sweet. But, I had visions of me having to take care of the flowers, so I said, no, I don't want anything else I have to take care of right now. So, and she gets it because she doesn't want any more things she has to take care of either. But I thought that was so cute. So, anyway, I'm going to enjoy my coffee, sip it up a little bit, add a little more creamer, and I will be back and meet you at the budget book. Back at the budget book. So anyway, yesterday I took my mom shopping and I did not buy anything at the 3 stores that I took her to. So, but on the way home I had to pick up something for a friend at Family Dollar. So I did that, and while I was in there, they had a mop on sale for $19.50. So I ended up picking that up. It's an O-Cedar mop, and it says it's good for pet cleanup, so I picked that up. But anyway, we'll see how that works. So I get a red X4 yesterday, and that was at Family Dollar, and that was right on the way home. And I had promised that I would pick something up there for a friend. So anyway, today I'm not planning on spending anything. I'm going to stay home. Still trying to keep it low spend for this month, as well as no spend. So I haven't spent a whole lot of money except for Costco. That was a little over $100, but actually that was low spend for me for Costco, because I usually spend more than that when I go to Costco. There's just certain things that I buy there. So once a month, once every 6 weeks, I make a trip to Costco, and I also fill up my gas tank. But this time, my daughter drove, so I did not put gas in the car yet. But I did put gas in the car last month, so I still have plenty in there. So still trying to keep it low spend, and we'll see how it goes this month. Like I said, I still have those windows that I have to gather up some money for, and that should be happening soon. He said mid to the end of March the windows should be coming in. So then that'll be 3 more windows that I've replaced. I replaced my front window, which was expensive, because that's a big window, and so then either in the fall or next spring, I'll replace 3 more windows. 2 of the bedrooms need a new window, and also my dining room, because the seals are broken on all of those. And I could replace the glass, and I did explore that at one point, but that ended up being as much, if not more, than replacing the window. So that didn't work out at all. So that's gone up a lot too. So anyway, that's how I'm doing with my budget this month. It's 2 for 2 so far. But like I said, I have not spent a whole lot at any one store. Oh, this was actually the Costco. This was, what was this? Oh, this was Chipotle, where I spent $8.25. And I still have at least 2 servings of that in the refrigerator that I can have for lunch or dinner. So, okay, that's about all I have to say on the budget book today. Just trying to keep it on the low spend. I know I'm going to have to buy certain things this month, so it won't be a total no spend, but I will keep it on the low spend. All right. Here's tonight's Use It Up dinner. I had this little tiny bit of frozen broccoli. It's mainly just stems, but that's okay. I don't mind that. If you do mind it, you could put that in soup, but I don't mind eating it just like that. I like the stems. Here I have the potato chip mashed potatoes. I turned that into like an everything potato and topped it with sour cream. I made that a couple of videos ago. If you want to see how I made that, just back up to a couple days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. So that needs to be eaten, and then I have some chicken, not chicken, tenders. There's lots of good ones out there to choose from that are plant-based. All right, so there is tonight's dinner. Well, it's the end of the day, and I didn't do too much today. I went and visited my daughter this morning. Well, into the early afternoon. And then by the time I got home, once I go out, it's like by the time I get home, I just don't feel like starting a project. So I did a few things, did some laundry, and I had bought this was a while ago. It's been sitting in the box. This, I forget what you call it. It's like a bolster that you put in your bed, and it's kind of adjustable. You can make it higher or lower, and it came with all kinds of different pieces. So I bought that a while ago, and it's been sitting in the box, and I thought I really should put that on my bed because I like to watch TV at night in bed. And what I have now is that, I keep sliding down. So, and I thought it would be a good thing to have for the reflux too. If I need to sit up more, it would be useful. So I put that up, and it came in a squished package. It's like when you buy a mattress online, they squish them all together. And that's how all these pieces came too. So I'm hoping that that'll work for me, and we'll see. Well, this is what I bought, and it's really nice, and it has more than one piece. This is removable, and this is how it works. It's got this bolster here, and then this you can, this is separate, and you can make it go higher or lower, whatever. So it wasn't cheap. It was like $100, I think, and it comes with some other pieces for your legs, and it could be like a whole orthopedic bed if you needed to make it that way. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to you, and I hope that works out well. So, okay. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about change. And if there's one thing that is constant in life and in the universe, it's change. Whether it's for the good, whether it's for the bad, it vacillates between the two. There's always going to be change. And sometimes it's really hard to adjust to change. For instance, if you've always had a partner, a husband or a wife, and something happens to your partner, whether it's a divorce or a death or whatever, that is a big change. And most of us, I think, have a difficult time adjusting to change. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit is being flexible and coming up with new routines and new ideas of how to weather the storm until you're used to whatever the new situation is. Because it would be pretty miserable if every time there was a change, we all fell apart and became super unhappy. Now, I know there's going to be life circumstances where for a short while you will be unhappy. But I think it's very important to overcome that and find new ways to make yourself happy and healthy. So, and there's no reason either to fear being alone, because we're all alone to some degree or another. Even if you have a partner, sometimes you're still, some people feel alone with a partner, more so than if they're actually alone. So I just think that constantly fighting change isn't a good thing. Now, some things, that's why my favorite prayer is the Serenity Prayer. And the prayer goes, I know you've all heard this prayer, and it's hanging in my kitchen. It's one of my favorites. And it goes, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So many of us live in the past, and we try to get back to the past, and we try to recreate the past. And it's not really a healthy thing to do. I think it's our mission in life to constantly move forward. And there will be people and things in our life that move forward with us for a time. And then there'll be that time where either you can't move forward anymore or they can't move forward anymore. And you can't change that. So constantly fighting that. Now, I'm not saying to give up on everything and not try to change things. I think there are certain things that you absolutely have to try to change. But I'm talking about things that are finite, that you cannot change anymore. No matter what you do, you can't change it. But you can adjust to it. That's a way of life that I think we all need to embrace, where we have the serenity to accept those things that we can't change. For instance, if you're a newly single person, no matter what the circumstances that brought you there, one of the things that you can do is to establish new routines. And try to keep your routines simple, because if you make them too complicated, you're not going to do them. You know, if that means having a nightly routine of brushing your teeth and brushing your hair and maybe watching a movie, just keep it doable. You know, if you have a list of 20 things that you're adding to your routine, chances are you're not going to follow through with that routine. So keeping it simple and pleasurable, I think that's a big key too, to keep your routines as pleasurable as possible until you adjust to being on your own. And it doesn't have to be scary. Being on your own doesn't have to be scary. Putting together a list of people that can help you. So if you've always, let's say your husband was real handy and he's not around anymore for whatever reason, you know, finding a list of people to call if your washer breaks, or if you need an electrician or a plumber or things like that, and keeping that handy. Putting all that stuff in a notebook where if the disaster happens, where, you know, let's say your toilet starts to leak, at least you'll have a list of people that you can engage and call to help you out. So it makes it less scary to be on your own. And documenting some of the things that you fix your house up with, keeping a record of that so that you can get ahead of things. You can write down when you have car maintenance done, when your oil was changed last, and you can figure when it'll need to be changed again so that you'll have the money available. And making a list of all those things. Like I'll put in my notebook, I'll put when I had the new windows put in, or when I had the new roof put up, or my hot water tank, or whatever it is. And keeping that all in one place is a good practice. So another thing, that taking some very basic home maintenance classes. I know you can learn a lot on YouTube. You can go to Home Depot, has maintenance classes, and they teach you basic things that you can do. And just acquiring those skills on your own so that you're not totally lost if something goes awry, because it's not when it happens, it will happen. Or I should say, it's not if it happens, it's when it will happen. And being prepared a little bit is very helpful if you're a newly single person, and it takes some of the scariness out of it. If you're afraid to live in a place yourself, maybe installing some cameras. There's all kinds of Wi-Fi cameras that you can put up now, and all you need is a phone app, and you can monitor your house and your outside, or maybe getting a security system with an alarm. I know my mom, after my father passed away, she had a security system installed in her house, and she still uses it. So just doing things like that to help you overcome any fear of being alone. Coming up with a list of support people, friends, family. And I know some people don't have much in the way of family, but even reaching out to your community people that you can have a list of support people. Maybe joining a support group might be helpful for you. But really, it takes some of the fear out of being alone. And being alone doesn't mean you have to be lonely either. That's where a support group would come in. And actually participating in it, not just sitting in the back row, not participating. Making connections with other human beings, I think, is very important. Now, there's some people like me that are loners. I enjoy my alone time. I don't need a lot of interaction with most people. My support system is my family, and I have a very few close friends that I know if I want to talk to another human being, I can give them a call and they'll talk to me, and I don't feel odd calling them. So, those are just some of the things that you can do if you find yourself newly single or lonely. And I know some of us need more social interaction than others. And you have to go by your nature. You can join an exercise class, a walking group, whatever your hobbies are, a photography group, and you can make some new friends that way. Reach out to your senior center if you're a senior citizen. They have a lot of activities, and I know you're going to feel very odd in the beginning going to these activities by yourself. But after a while, it sort of becomes second nature, and then you don't feel odd anymore. So it's an adjustment, going from being a couple to being a single person. And it doesn't have to be just a couple. It's even for single people, and they're now empty nesters. Maybe all their kids moved out. And I try to approach it as it's a new adventure. What have I always wanted to do that I couldn't do when I was a couple or when I had my kids at home? What did I always want to do? And then going it alone is not a bad thing. It's again, you're going to feel very odd doing these things by yourself in the beginning. But as you get used to it, you may find you actually enjoy it. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know some of my viewers are widowed or a widower, and it's a big adjustment, or newly divorced. It's a big adjustment, but I guess making the best of it is what we need to do to be happy. And even the things that are going on in the world today, with the cost of food and clothing and utilities, and finding ways and new routines to overcome these difficult hardships, and finding less expensive alternatives. Like maybe you always bought a name brand toothpaste, and it's ridiculously priced, $6, $7 for a tube of toothpaste. Well, you could buy less expensive toothpaste and then maybe add baking soda to it, or you could, you know, find some videos on how to whiten your teeth and just circumvent the bad event with some good events. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and some of the things that I do. I mean, I've been married a couple times, been in a long-term relationship. So in my life, there really have been 3 key men. And I've had very long-term relationships with all 3 of them. And for whatever reason, one reason or another, it didn't turn out and the relationship ended, and it ended when it should have ended. So, but I've also been single for a very long time. And I've been on my own when it came to finances and when it came to buying a car. I had this house built on my own. And I didn't need a partner to guide me or to tell me how to do it. I did the research, I took the steps, and yeah, sometimes it was scary, but I took the steps that I needed to take to get to the goal that I wanted to reach. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go out there and set the world on fire and do all those things that you can be excited about to do. So, all right, my friends, I'm having some chamomile tea. Cheers. And I find that chamomile tea makes me sleepy, which is a good thing in the evening. But I used to drink a lot of chamomile tea, and I would think, why am I always so tired? Not that I'm never tired now, because I am. But I know, you know, it was like, why am I always so tired? And then it's like, I'll bet it's the chamomile tea. So when I want to relax, that's what I drink. I drink a nice big cup of chamomile tea, and it relaxes me, especially in the evening, and it helps me doze off. I mean, I sleep really well at night, for the most part. I mean, you know, as we get older, we do wake up during the night sometimes, and you know, we have to do a couple things. Well, one thing. And but for the most part, I sleep well. Now, I take melatonin at night, but I don't take it for sleep. I take it for, I had read somewhere that it enables your esophageal sphincter. It strengthens it, and I don't know exactly the mechanism of how that works, but I do notice a difference when I don't take it. So I just, you know, take the 2 gummies, and I've been doing that for quite a while now. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.